My name is Carolyn. I'm 20 years old, and this is my story. I had moved to Texas in October of 2010, and I had lived there for a year. And I had came back to Toledo in September of 2011 and was going to start school and basically start over here like I had in Texas. And 3 weeks after I had arrived in Toledo, I had found out that I was pregnant. And so right away, I was thinking about my options and trying to decide what I should do. I was scared to tell my family. I didn't know how they were going to react, knowing that I had just came back from Texas.
I was at work, and Carolyn sent me a text message that said that she was late on her period. And she sent me a text and said that she had missed her period, and that she thought she was pregnant.
The first thing I had thought about doing, which is the worst thing, was to have an abortion, which I know that's totally against my family's beliefs, against my beliefs, against everything that I was taught growing up. But right then in that set, I was trying to do the quickest thing and something that, you know, I thought at the time not many people would know about. I could keep it a secret. So I decided to tell my brother, and we told him about what I was going to do, and I don't want to say that he was upset. He just, you know, thought that I should take more time to consider my options.
You know, she was debating on whether or not she wanted to have an abortion, and she didn't really know what route to go. And basically all I told her was that I think that if she was making the choice that she wasn't able to raise the child, that she shouldn't just take the life, that she should look into getting an adoption, because there's plenty of other families out there that can't have children, and that's what I told her.
We raised her to be a God-fearing woman, and that she needed to do the right thing, and if she wasn't going to have the baby, that adoption would be the next process for that if she wasn't going to keep it.
So from there, I started thinking about it. Unfortunately, my father cannot have children. I was adopted myself, and so, you know, the one thing that he told me is that there's, you know, women in marriages all over America that try to have children, but they can't have children together, and that God has blessed me with the miracle to be able to have a child, and that I really need to think my options through. I had called around a couple different agencies in the city of Toledo and surrounding areas, and I had left messages, and the only place that called me back was Cathoilc Charites, and I had spoke with the adoption counselor there, Joy. You know, just from my first day coming here, it was very easy for me. They made it, you know, very welcoming. The staff here is very nice. They made everything easy for me from the beginning. They were going to support me whether I chose to parent or chose to place, as long as I was giving the baby life. That was basically their biggest concern, was that this child was going somewhere.
She brought home some profiles from Cathoilc Charites of several different families, and she went through them and did her background checks and homework, and she chose Rick and Kendra.
I had maybe looked at 5 or 6 profiles, and every time I looked, there was something that I just found in them that I was like, they're not the ones. And so I had expressed to Joy everything that I had wanted, and so I came here to one of their classes, and I had met the family, and I had spoke with them, and just my first initial introduction to them, I knew right away they were the family that I wanted.
The night that Carolyn chose our family, we were a bit taken back. We weren't sure that there had been a match in place. Our social worker had called and asked for our pictures and portfolio quickly, so we were optimistic, but we weren't certain. And then when she walked in the door, she was beautiful, and there was an instant connection, and there has been a connection since the day we've met her. So I guess we were joyful and a bit surprised and grateful.
We chose adoption really to expand our family. We had a little boy who had a genetic illness, and because of that we can't have any more children. We've always wanted a big family, so adoption was definitely a neat way to go for us to be able to bring other kids into our family.
Even my first time at their home, I was comfortable. I didn't feel nervous. I didn't feel out of place. They have supported me in whatever I have asked of them. They have allowed me to pick the baby's name. They almost love me like they have known me my whole life. It's not just about the baby with them, it's about me.
Our mindset has been to love on a mother who's in a difficult situation, and if there's a child at the end of it, that's wonderful. But the focus has really been on Carolyn through this, and it's been a great experience. Wouldn't have it any other way.
And I also think that part of the process of adoption is considering the mother's feelings, the birth mom's feelings, and if it's going to be easier for her to have an open adoption, then we all need to be on board in doing what is best for the child, but also to be considerate of the mother's feelings.
You know, they have expressed to me that they want me in this child's life as much as I want to be. I remember one day when I was at their house, Rick had mentioned putting a room in the house for me. And that was something that, you know, it touched my heart. We are planning to surprise Kendra with a photo shoot for Mother's Day. She thinks that she's coming here to take pictures for a brochure for Cathoilc Charities. So she has no idea.
What we'll do is we'll have you come in, kind of get ready, and then go into the photo and let her take the photos. Okay. Do some different shots.
My hair's flat. And you guys want to take your jackets
You can
off?
put your things, put your things down, then we'll take you in the room so that you can see.
Okay. All right.
Is that her? Is it her?
Yeah.
I knew that was you. I can tell by your nails.
Okay, give me a hug.
We are gonna do, I'm like shaking so bad because I'm like nervous. We're gonna do a photo shoot for me and you for Mother's Day.
That's so sweet.
I can tell from our personal experience with Carolyn that from the day we've met her, it has been a relationship where we've grown in trust, and what has helped that trust the most is such open communication. I found that just every time I spend with her, we begin to talk in a deeper level, and we've both found ourselves to be extremely honest and share our fears and share our desires, and yet in the midst of that, I believe we really do want what is best for the child, and so we share that in common. And but our communication level has only grown deeper, and in that I think we've grown closer as friends with Carolyn.
I think it's a great decision that she came to. It gives her the chance to experience a little bit of motherhood, to be able to go and visit the child, to make sure the child is receiving everything that she expects it to receive. That the child is learning everything it's supposed to be learned. She's going to give the child a life that she could never provide for it. She's so young. That baby is going to be loved. It's going to have everything it needs. The baby it's going to be a wonderful thing.
I think it's made Carolyn a better person. I really do. From what she's come from, the lifestyles that she was living, I think that she's really grown a lot, and she's become an adult throughout the process. And I think it's gonna make her a better person in the long run also, knowing that she's done the right thing, and that, you know, she's able to go through such an important decision like this and still come throughout on top. I think it's a great thing.
We know it'll be difficult for Carolyn at first, on how much she wants to see the child and not see the child, and I'm sure the best laid plans of what we think it'll be will change when we get there. But you know, we're going to enter into that flexible. I mean, if she doesn't want to see the child for 6 months so she can mourn, giving the child up for adoption and kind of finish that process with herself before she sees the child, we understand. And if, you know, she wants to seat the child right there and hold it in the delivery room, we understand that also. So.
She wasn't even like really crying, or she said, and then Rick can sit. Oh no, because he said, "Can you put the camera?"
She will lose it back here.
Her hair, it cracks me up. It is so long. It almost doesn't even feel like she's mine. I don't know if it's because I'm so content with my decision, I'm not having any regret, but I almost feel like a part of her is me, but a part of her isn't me, which I think might be a good thing for the healing process. Sure. But I don't know. I don't know if it's because the reality hasn't really sunk in that I have a child. Well, in the beginning, I thought it would be really hard for me to see her even within 6 months. I thought it would be hard for me to go to their house, but being it that we have made it so easy on each other, I could see myself going out there next week. I don't really see us going down our separate paths. I see us sticking together for each other and for Paige. Paige Hope was born on May 18th at 10:54 p.m. and she was in the hospital for a week with some problems she had after birth. And then that Friday she went home with Rick and Kendra, so it's been about 7 weeks since I've had her and about 6 weeks since she's gone home. I have seen Paige. Me and my mom went out to her house about 3 or 4 weeks after she was born, and we had a visitation with the Rick and Kendra and the girls, and it was very nice to see how Constance and Kennedy and Rick and Kendra interacted with Paige and how much love that she had in the house. It was good knowing that I placed her in a good home with loving parents and loving siblings, and I've never worried that I placed her in a bad home or that, you know, it wasn't the right thing. Going out there, like I said, put it all into perspective for me to realize that they do love her and that she's going to have love for the rest of her life. Cathoilc Charities has been there for me since day one. I really appreciate Joy and everything that she's done for me. They've really helped me not only in the beginning but afterwards, just to make sure that I was keeping a sane mind and that I wasn't letting the adoption take over. If I were talking to young women that were interested in placing their children for adoption, I would definitely recommend Cathoilc Charities to support them, even if they just wanted to be a parent and they needed extra help. I would tell them, explain to them how much Cathoilc Charities has helped not only myself but other birth moms that I have met throughout this process, and how much love they have and concern for not only your child but you as well.